Hayden Brown.
Yes.
You're guiding Anacostia High School to build an electric vehicle and compete in the 2022 Washington, D.C. Electrical Vehicle Grand Prix. And your advisor on this project was Dr. G. Chen.
Yes.
So please take it away, and I will indicate when you have, so we're talking about 12 minutes in all, and I'll indicate when you have 2 minutes left. Okay?
Okay. Can you see my slide, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. This is Mulatu Baichoro, and Dr. Richie already explained who we are. And yeah, now continue to my introduction part. The Washington DC Electric Vehicle Grand Prix, or DC EVGP, is a hands-on education program. Sorry. Education program for the high school in Washington metropolitan area. And DC AVGP was established by Global Education Energy Environment, GEE. It aims to engineering, engaging high school students by applying engineering, science, and math principles and strategy to construct and race battery powered electric cars. The project also helps improve their understanding of renewable energy technologies and project management while working in a team environment. This is the 10th anniversary of the competition and was held on Saturday, April 31st, 2022. Also, the Anacostia High School team takes part in the DC EVGP. This is the first time. And the SES is collaborated with GEE to provide a mentorship to the Anacostia High School team members. The Anacostia High School electrical vehicle team successfully competed. This we see here the picture, and as the 2022 DC electrical vehicle Grand Prix, which was held at UDC CC Community College, Bert Bacchus campus on Saturday, April 31st, and was recognized as the best performance new team in this year. Here we see this is the UDC monitoring team and the Anacostia EV car team. And here is Michael. This is a driver and who very participant student from Anacostia High School. And this picture show that he received the reward for a good performance of the year. Our objective and the goals. The objective of this project is to educate the high school students on how to assemble and an electrical vehicle or EV and compete in a DC electrical vehicle Grand Prix. Also, we put this one, the following goals are set to achieve this objective. Getting students familiar with one, and guidelines of assembly, game regulation, driver manual. Second place, guide students to assemble and test the electrical vehicle car. The methods, and these methods we have this presentation highlights measure monitoring and activity associated with a vehicle assembly and inspection that occurred over 3 months period from February 2022 through the April 31st, 2022. And we will go over 13 some assembly steps and some technical challenges associated in some of these steps. And Also, to achieve these goals, we initially split up the team into three focus groups: mechanical, electrical, and the driver, and create a reading assignment for them to get familiar with the assembly instructions, driver manual, and the game regulations. Also, we focus on our mentoring effort to take the Anacostia High School students to go through each assembly steps. Due to the fact that only one or two students can commit to come to every monthly season, also for the certain steps, the AHS is a lack of proper electricity power tools, and Anacostia High School or AHS student cannot be offered safety training at UDC. This is because of COVID protocol that requires the high school students to be vaccinated to enter UDC campus. Therefore, some assembly steps were solely performed by UDC faculty and student mentors as a UDC campus, and the mentors presented and explained the assembled parts to the student after these steps were completed. The required EV assembly includes 17 steps, which are listed as follows: paint metal parts, mount roll hoops to chassis, and until that 17 steps. The last one is the graphics body shell painting. To use the time, I jumped this. But we have 17 steps, which are listed as follows. And below is a recounting of our practice on assembling primary component of this EV. The event organizer provide the most component as an assembly kit. Number one, chassis. In the very beginning, we worked with students to remove by detergent the light layer of the oil that was coated to prevent the rust, and we painted the metal parts such as that was steel chassis, roll hoop, the steering spindles, and the steering column support. After we painted, and then after 3 days that dry up, and the roll hoop was installed on the chassis via 4 through holes drilled on the chassis. Steering spindles. The steering spindles were attached to the chassis with the nickel arms, just like this one, the nickel arms, what we call, and facing to the rear side of the vehicle after the installation of roll hoop. Also, students learn to create black polypropylene spacers and to combine these spaces and regulate regular flat washers to keep the spindle from sliding up and down. Steering wheel and the column. First, the steering column support was mounted into the chassis. Then the steering column was attached to the support bracket on the column support with pitman arm, facing towards the rear side of the vehicle. The steering vehicle was connected to the flange, which was attached to the steering column. Students learned to bolt these pieces in place by using a bolt, flat washer, nickel, nuts, castle nuts, and cotton pins. Okay, this is steering a link. The steering link includes two high precision and lightweight aluminum steering tie rod. The steering spindle is connected to front wheels. This is the steering link, how we link it. Also, there are 4 rods in the kit and 4 corresponding nuts. A student learns to adjust the jam nuts, just what we see here, the jam nuts on the threaded shaft of each rod and turns to the tie rods. So to align the front wheels so there is no toe out and toe in. This is how we aligned and then connect each of that. Uh, there is a mounting steering links to the steering spindle and steering column. The other one is front wheels. To attach the front wheels, students first learn to sorry. Uh, students first learn to remove the castle nut and two axle spacers, which was on it before. Then we slip the wheel onto axle with hook brake side first. Then they place both wheel spacer on the outside, followed by the castle nut. The long hex nut was used as a wheel hook, key. After attaching the wheel hook key and spring washer, each front wheel was secured firmly with 1 inch and 1/4 of 220 bolt. Then a hole was drilled in the axle and the quarter pin was inserted in the hole, and its legs were pulled apart to meet safety requirements. Also, the other one is how we mount her on rear wheel. This step was a trick job as tubeless tire needs to be mounted. The rear wheel was tubeless and need to be mounted on the rear wheel. Given that the assembly manual does not provide the detailed mounting instruction, we did the web research and made inquiries at local gas stations.
Okay, let me interject. 2 minutes left, okay?
2 minutes, okay. The other one is install seat. The seat installed by suspending on the steel chassis and the roll bar. As recommended on the manual, students worked with mentors to use the Velcro strap to wrap around the side of frame to hold the center of the netting up and adjust to obtain a comfortable fit for the driver. Here is three garments were installed on the seat and the pad on the seat. This is how we mounted. The other one is attach the 5 harness. This is the to like we use this one like this seat belt. For that case, there are 5-point harness. This the picture show. The other one install brake pedal and the connect cables. The UDC team followed the instruction and performed the brake pedal and the cable installation with the assistance from Anacostia High School students. The brake pedal was first placed on the right side of vehicle. The cable stop brake bracket was then aligned to the pedal with about 23-degree difference, so that the top of the bracket is parallel to the top of the pedal. This is a cable, how we connected, and then one thing in a challenge was associated with this cable when we connect, and in this step.
Sorry for interjecting. So could we conclude like fairly quickly?
Okay. This is how we assembled, and then team. This is where we were. This is our conclusion. As seen in the presentation, this project provided many benefits to the high school students and myself on how to assemble and build electrical car, and it helps to improve their understanding of renewable energy technologies and project management while working in a team environment, and also the assembling of this type of car, developing my design skills, teamwork skills. Finally, we have participated and were recognized as the best performance new team this year.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's all. All right, thank you.
Those of you can hear the applause, but okay. Are there any questions online? Dr. O?
Excellent presentation, Malatu. It's unfortunate you didn't have enough time to present on the battery aspect and the voltage and power, but we can talk to you offline later. How many high school students, how many Anacostia High School students in the team?
There were not every day 2 students come, or per a week we got 2 times each week, and then sometimes 1 student will be there, the other day 2 there. But I see them there almost 6 students, but they
Were
don't
there
come
any
at the same time.
female? Were there any
Yes,
female interest, female student
yes,
interest?
yes.
Okay.
Even 1 female student was driver.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Were you able to collect data feedback from the students? Did you give them any survey form to complete about their experience, what they learned, and how they found the project? Did you
Well,
gather feedback?
I did not did that yet. Yeah, that's good things. I will do that.
Yeah, very good. Good project. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
I have a question.
Okay.
As it's described, this, first of all, like, it was a race, right? And it was like first place, second place, third place, right?
I couldn't hear you well.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it a time test or a time trial, or was it more than one car on the track at one time?
That is a one time, right?
Yeah, I'm here. I can answer that question. I think if Malatu need help,
It was what?
it's an endurance race. So it's basically give you 30 minutes. Say how many laps you can cover.
Okay. That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Now, and
what? Go ahead.
Yeah, and what would you say was the determining factor? So it's a spec series because you're all given basically the same kit. It's like IndyCar racing or NASCAR. All the cars are basically on the same chassis. So what was the determining factor, do you think, on why one team did the best? You understand the question?
Oh, yes. Oh. It's not the question. It's clear to me.
Dr. Yuqing, I can answer that question. One determining factor to decide who won the race is basically depending on how you efficiently use draw the current from the battery. So which means the team you should not accelerate or decelerate your motor too often. You basically as much as you can to have a cruise speed. Even when you make a turn, you have to deaccelerate gradually before you go into turn. So there's a lot of driving strategy associated. So the best advice to give to the driver is they have to practice a lot before, which is something they need to improve. And this is one kind of a determining factor who decide which team can cover the most laps. So which means the driver have to understand the car, have to know how to basically efficiently draw the current from battery, especially going through the turns.
Okay, understood. So basically, the price of admission is a well-running car, but then it's really mostly determined by the driver.
Exactly, because the battery is given from the event, and there's no car that uses a much powerful battery. So given the same condition, decided by the watt hour, and then it's depending on the driver's the skills, and also the dynamics of the car, the vehicle. If you can, next year, one thing we would like to do is if there's some team member interest in simulation, the thermodynamics of the, based on the shape of the car, maybe we can also improve the, dynamics of the car a little bit as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I think, let's just see here. We have Kuku Bachway here yet?